After this, after we're done recording, I'm going on Amazon. I'm getting you the fuck machine. It's time. Y'all, Poodle needs help. Hashtag help Poodle.
There's a traffic cone down there that a crew left. I'm going to go take possession of it.
Beep, beep, beep. Bless your heart and bless your asshole. Y'all, Poodle is wound tight.
This is reality gaze. It's been a day. It has been a week. Y'all, we got 2 more days. We're recording this on Friday this week. We got 2 more days of Mercury retrograde. And I don't think my phone's been fucked up. My computer's been fucked up. My internet's been fucked up. Everybody I know has been having discussions with everybody that are just ending poorly. It's the world is falling apart. And I just want to have sex with somebody. I want to have sex with somebody. Oh, I want to have sex with somebody. Oh,
sex.
Oh, I want to have sex with somebody. Oh, with somebody I don't know. That is my new anthem. With somebody I don't know.
With somebody I don't know. Wow. Let me turn on Do Not
Somebody
Disturb.
I met on Grindr.
My dad was like, I walked out and he's like, are you done with your podcast? Haven't started yet. He's having technical problems. And my dad said, oh, well, I guess it's difficult then. And I said, it is difficult today. It's been a difficult day of getting technology to work.
That was kind of shady.
Well, sometimes my dad's shady. And then I gave him a piece of my Aunt Darla's meatloaf and he said, tastes like mama's. And he was fine.
Oh, what's in your mama's meatloaf?
It's my grandma Hazel's meatloaf. It's just what's in everybody else's meatloaf. Meatloaf, green peppers, onions, garlic powder,
I don't put green
salt.
peppers in my meatloaf.
Do I put green peppers in my meatloaf? I grew up with it. I don't think I actually do, now that you said that. I don't think I do.
No, you put onions.
But I think I just put onions, yeah.
Yeah. I put red peppers in mine before to add some more veggies. No one gives a shit about this.
No one gives a shit about this.
Who gives a shit?
But Jen, now do you put cheese? Some people put cheese in
No.
God,
I would shit for days.
Aunt Peggy puts cheese in hers. Aunt Darla's does not. Grandma Hazel did not. And Aunt Darla and Aunt Peggy, who really haven't talked in years anyway, definitely use that as another point of contention that the other one makes shitty meatloaf.
Their brother is in serious cancer mode right now, allegedly, and they won't even speak to one another.
Aunt Darla didn't talk to Peggy when Peggy had cancer. Y'all, trauma.
That's something.
Childhood trauma is real. And if you don't deal with it, then it comes out and it will destroy you and other people. That's all I have to say about that.
So go talk to someone. Go see a therapist. Y'all go to BetterHelp.
Yes.
They're going to be a sponsor of the show soon.
They are. My cousin just had a great experience with BetterHelp. But it is sad because no one is right and no one is wrong. They both have valid things that is a lot of hurt. But what do you do? So anyway,
one will kill the other.
I don't think they'll get to that point, but don't fuck with the Mar.
What can you do? And I was saying that's what you can do.
You could. I still haven't told the story about Aunt Peggy and Darla when my dad got divorced. I think I'm going to save that for a live show. Save that
for another live show. Yeah.
I think
that's a great story.
So y'all, this is go ahead, Poodle.
This is Reality Gaze, and this is Summer House, otherwise known as Southern House, because we're doing a little bit of Southern charm secrets.
We're going to talk about Southern Charm, season 713, Secrets Revealed. There's not enough to talk about that for an hour. So we're just going to talk about that for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then we're going to talk about Summer House. So if you don't give a two fucks about Southern Charm, just fast forward about 15 minutes. And then...
or however long we talk.
And then we're going to jump into Summer House.
It is actually quite kismet that we are putting these shows together because, unfortunately, Collective Sigh, they're coming out with something on Bravo, some monstrosity, some Frankenstein of a show called Winter House.
And Yes.
involve Southern Charm people, it's at least Craig and Austin. I think they're the only ones who are such attention whores. They'll do it all for that.
I'm from Southern Charm. And then from Summer House, Paige is coming, Hannah
course.
is coming, Kyle, Amanda, Lindsay,
Sierra.
and
so far.
Pardon?
Sierra.
And Sierra is coming. And I thought I just saw
they should just also add like Snagglepuss. So it's like Marvel. What is those Olympics they would do? Show up shows. Snagglepuss. They'll throw in Tom from Tom and Jerry. And then Tom will like fuck Lindsay halfway through, and she's like, Tom, I think we're together.
It's going to be a lot of STIs, new STIs introduced into that house. Well, maybe we haven't seen the episode where Craig and Shep came to Winter House, came to Summer House, but apparently that was a big deal.
Yeah, I saw it. It's basically Craig going, so what do you do around here? For fun?
What do you do around here? So anyway, we don't know if we're going to cover that or not. If you ask Poodle today, when he's had one of the worst weeks in his life, he says absolutely not. If you talk to him after he's been ramrodded by 3 guys in a weekend, he might.
You know what? All things are possible. With God, with Dick, all things are possible.
With God or Dick. Or Dick.
Because
God, I'm going to say God's not upset when we talk about Dick, y'all. You can suck it. You can fuck it. God loves it. It's fine. He made it. Okay, we're gonna jump in.
Jump into the show. I want
Southern Charm.
Southern Charm secrets, otherwise known as basically moments so irrelevant to the storyline of the show that they could not be included.
But we just want another episode for advertising dollars.
Because they normally do more episodes per season.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was
COVID. They got kind of fucked, and they didn't have enough to like do.
So we're gonna squeeze out the sweaty, dirty underwear of Shep and Craig, and wring out the sweat, and we're gonna give it to your open mouths. That's exactly what they did.
That's kind of what you want when it comes.
I'm like a baby bird. I would gladly. You know how when you're having sex and it's getting hot and someone's sweating all over you.
Wait a second. Just let me get there.
I'm kind of okay if I'm kind of okay with getting really sweaty.
Oh, we're in sex? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not okay with them getting their sweat all over my bed. So I have what's often called a play blanket that I throw down.
Okay. Please don't call it a play blanket like a 2-year-old toddler. Please don't do that. That's disgusting.
You just should have seen his face right now. Like his eyes said anywhere but here. Exactly.
I've already been waiting 3 hours to do the podcast because of tech issues.
Someone once called it a play blanket and it stuck.
Well, it should unstuck. They need to process their own childhood infantile trauma. Anyway, so we're going to do this, and we're not going to go through the whole thing because it just doesn't. It's just not kind of worth it. So this is a throwback to some of our TV tea time listeners.
We're going to give you some tea bags.
We're going to give you some tea bags.
We're going to tea bag our listeners.
So Poodle and I are each going to have a tea bag that we're going to give you. So Poodle, what's your first tea bag of a Southern Charm moment from this episode?
My first tea bag, it goes hand in hand with another tea bag later, but that Austin says, Craig wears bracelets and he's really feminine and thinks that we are dating. And I would only imagine that Craig would say, we're not dating. Wait, we're not dating.
We're not dating? I thought we were a couple. I thought you said the other night when you were inside me that you loved me and you wanted to marry me.
But there's something about him saying that Craig is feminine, and honestly, it's a little interesting hearing him say that because Craig might be a little feminine in his mannerisms. Just this is talking as a gay man, but like Austin is so quote unquote feminine in how he behaves with like Madison.
I was going to say, if we're starting to use,
if we're going to go there,
if we're going to go there, which we don't think is a good thing to do,
actually, it's gross.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, don't look who's calling the kettle pink, because it's interesting when I think of energetically who carries more feminine things.
Austin,
to me, it is
100%.
Austin, and I mean that in like Austin's really, and I think that's part of what Austin's problem with dating.
Yeah.
I think Craig is too, I guess, feminine, masculine. Again, I hate even saying those kind of things. I think
I feel like we're getting into an area where I only took it on because they talked about it.
They said it. You're calling out their bullshit of saying it. But Craig is much more. Craig embraces the artistic, and the quote unquote qualities that have been labeled as feminine.
Right. He does.
I think
he sews.
Yes, whereas Austin...
He's much more comfortable in his body than Austin.
He is, and Austin doesn't. And I think if Austin didn't... Because you can tell, Austin's a super, super, super... And I mean this in a positive word. A lot of people think the word sensitive is a negative because y'all...
No.
Jake and I were called sensitive boys.
We were called... He's quite a musical boy, isn't he?
Or like women are often called sensitive, and that's like a nice way of people saying they're crazy.
Yeah.
We hate that, and we're not using... I like to take back the word, and I think sensitive is strong, sensitive is beautiful, and I think Austin is very sensitive.
He's very emotional. He's very emotional.
Very emotional, and unable. I think a lot of his struggle is he tries to quote unquote act like a man when he's denying his emotional.
There's
instincts.
a dissonance. There's a dissonance there, which is why he's.
We just
unhappy.
read you, Austin.
I agree. No, I completely agree with it. He is actually one of the most interesting people on the show for me because I keep watching the evolution of Austin, and I think if he's on it next season, trying to like, hopefully he's away from Sea Witch.
Although, y'all, spoiler alert, we heard they're back together.
I know.
We heard that they were together.
And it's one of the reasons
she's horrible for him.
He's trying to like make her into what he wants her to be. And that's never going to happen.
Do you think that? I think there's not so much what he wants her to be. I think it's what he thinks they can be. I think Austin thinks they can be like a power couple, like a power reality TV couple.
Nope. She has already outed herself as one of the thirstiest people ever, and that it's a shame because she was handling herself really well on social media until all of this happened, and now she's just like dehydrated. She's all like, it's just thirsty attention.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's mine. What's yours?
My teabag is. Whoop, boop, boop. Alert. Craig is wearing a backwards hat. Alert. Craig is wearing a backwards hat.
No,
I've always thought Craig was attractive, but this just took me over the limit.
I would beg for it for Craig. We'd be in the bathroom together and like, so you sure I can't give you a blowy?
I'm blowy, and he thinks it means a bump of coke.
Yeah.
I've never thought of Craig as a top, but when he turned that hat around backwards, I was like, I just want to go down on you, blow you, and I want you to mount me like a jockey at Santa Anita.
And I feel like he would kind of have that little look, and he would kind of smile while he was fucking you.
Yes. And his hair would kind of fall down in front of his face.
Before.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
I can't believe.
Good.
Oh my God. This feels just like a woman, but with a little bit more stubble on your face. I love it. Y'all, it doesn't feel the same. It's different. I'm hurt.
I need to bring up the fact, this is my second teabag, that I was personally offended when Landon came on my screen.
Okay. They like flashback show, and I kind of jolted.
Y'all, she's the worst cast member ever.
Oh.
Landon, who talked like this, who kind of had a speech impediment. Oh, she was so awful.
She was
The
awful.
worst cast member ever who answered everything with a question. Thomas?
Thomas?
We weren't doing the show. We weren't doing Southern Charm when Landon was on, but Landon was the absolute worst.
I kind of wish we were.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
I know you hate her so much. My next teabag was, y'all, again, I called it, they're playing beer pong with Whitney and Austin and Shep and Craig, and someone says something about Craig's pubes, and Craig's like, I love that you think that I have pubes, y'all. Because
we called it. They've been listening.
It is so smooth. It is like you barely need hardly any KY jelly. It's just like a little dollop will do you. It's like Daisy. It's just like a little dollop of stuff.
Have a dollop of Daisy. Have a dollop of KY.
Hey, wait a minute. I can't do sour cream because I'm lactose intolerant. So can you just get a stick of butter?
I'm really vegan lately.
Wait. It's like it's beyond. It's beyond how it really is. You know, who was it? Somebody said was in this, and I know Andy talked about how they talked about Craig really's had the most kind of evolution in the entire show, probably more than any other cast member. I have to say, when they show these flashbacks, y'all, they showed a lot of like young Craig sewing pillows and stuff like that in this episode too.
He's grown up so much.
He's also, now he didn't look great on the reunion, but when he gets on camera, Craig has also had to me the best evolution of hotness. He looked kind of like this young twink, and I was not attracted to him at all.
The beard does everything for him.
Yeah, and now he's kind of grown into a more of a just older, like just a man. And I'm just like, Craig, who are you?
I need to say something, and I'm embarrassed that I think this. Austin with those glasses and that chunky sweater was actually looking good to me.
Okay. Thank you for saying that because I didn't want to bring it up.
I want to throw myself out my window right now.
But sometimes I have to say this, Austin looks really attractive in this.
I know, and I feel disgusting saying that, and I feel like, and I'm apologizing for it right now because I really don't feel like I should ever think that, and I feel gross for thinking that.
Because his hair, like he has beautiful hair. He does his hair well. He just opens his mouth, and then you lose your boner.
And then I have a problem with his like raspy voice.
And that
big old tongue of his.
Everything. I don't have much problem with tongue.
But I look at your asshole, and it feels like a St. Bernard's giving you a rim job. Just.
But I'll be honest, that chunky sweater and those glasses were doing it for me. Maybe I was just horny. I don't know.
Water is wet, and so are you. Y'all.
I want to say one other thing.
I'm such a vapid gay man because that's all that I have to talk about this show. Yeah, really. So whatever you want to talk about.
But we're acting like everyone listening out there is not as like not as vapid as we are. Y'all, you're all that girl.
We're all that girl.
You all looked at Austin and went, "Would I do it? Oh wait, I would."
You would. Oh, I do have something else, but maybe you're going to bring it up.
No, I was going to say, y'all, Pat, we did a little expose of Miss Pat and Michael, and it turned out Pat
I loved this.
Got Michael or employed Michael because there was a woman who Michael had been working for who died, and Pat literally kind of bought him from the woman
before she was even buried. And I went, this is a Poodle Boudreaux move. And honestly, it's kind of a Matt Maher move too.
Yeah.
If I heard if you're a good butler, and I'm like,
I did enjoy that when she's like, yes. He's like, well, what do you make with it? She's like, well, in investments, I don't know. She's like, you're probably worth more money than me. And Michael's like, yes, I am.
Yes,
girl, I got Bitcoin money.
Bitcoin money. She read D.
I think that's about it. I did want to say that there was a moment when I believe it was it Shep and some others and Craig, they put ketchup on their hot dogs, and I lost my mind. Because ketchup, y'all, does not belong on a hot dog.
Well, that's a very Chicago thing, right?
I know. It's disgusting.
Wait, in Chicago, do they
No,
hate it when you
Chicago, they put raw tomatoes on their hot dogs.
but they hate it when you put ketchup on their hot dogs, I think, right? They
The
do
world does. New York hates it when you put ketchup
No, there's
on
like a
hot dogs.
famous hot dog shop. Come at us, sissies. There's a famous hot dog shop in Chicago. And I think like when you put, like they don't even have ketchup. And if you try to do it, they get really angry.
Well, no, ketchup
respect.
does not belong on hot dogs. Ketchup does not belong on hamburgers. Ketchup belongs on French fries.
Okay. Let's chop this up to things we don't care that much about, and Poodle has an opinion.
Here's the thing.
God.
Ketchup is a dipping condiment.
It doesn't matter.
And if
I don't
you put
care.
ketchup on your eggs, you are a savage.
No, you do what you want.
Nope. Nope.
Some people have.
You know what you put on hot dogs? You know what you put on hot dogs? You put
your ass.
You put mustard, onions, relish, or chili. And a Chicago hot dog has all, and some kraut, maybe.
And mayo.
Ketchup does not. No.
Mayo. You can put mayo, yeah, or Miracle Whip.
Nope. Fuck you with your Miracle Whip. Coming in here. Don't bring that shit in here. I'm just saying, ketchup. I
got it.
It's not necessary. It is a dipping condiment.
Okay, we gave ourselves a 15-minute
Fuck
limit.
off.
We have to stop. There's one other thing we should bring up that is actually plot worthy. Y'all, Leva goes with Danny. Danny has an old ring from someone that she was engaged to. And y'all, she sells her ring to help fund her storing her eggs. This ring was $22,000.
Good for her ex-fiance.
Good for her ex-fiance and good for Danny. She's going to use that money to save them eggs.
Good for her. I was happy about that.
Y'all, this is really not Southern of me. If you have a ring that was over $22,000, I want to see that picture. I want to see that ring because that's a lot of money.
It's an expensive ring.
I think the most I could spend on an engagement ring would be like $10,000, and even then, that would be a lot. $22,000.
The idea of they say the 3-month salary rule.
That's bullshit.
That's outdated. I think you should just get something that both you and you obviously know your fiance well enough when you buy an engagement ring. And you get something that looks good, that obviously preferably not some kind of fake cubic zirconia or something like that. But even a small diamond is wonderful. Something that's like understated, that says, I love you, here's what's to come, blah, blah, blah. You don't need a huge motherfucker of an engagement ring. You're already going to have a wedding ring.
Speak for yourself.
No, I really believe this. We should be reasonable in our engagement ring choices. You don't need 3 months salary.
I agree. We should do that. I'm teasing you. I agree.
You don't need if you make.
I'm just saying, if you have a $22,000 ring, I want to see it. I love jewelry.
But like, if you make $5,000 a month, that's. I think the 3-month rule comes from it should make you hurt a little bit. The idea it should kind of hurt you a little bit, and
hurt you.
And that's dumb too.
This is very male perspective. I wonder if there's so many women, maybe not, that are like, no, I don't know.
But there's gonna be a wedding ring as well. Yeah. So, and usually they go together. But, again, you're right. This is a very gay male perspective. Oh, we don't buy rings. We don't buy rings.
There's somebody who's like, bitch, I'm listening to these guys and they are wrong about rings.
If you knew how many rings I've thrown back in men's faces.
just cock rings. Just cock rings. And they're cheap.
Can we start the summer house?
Yeah, that secret's revealed, y'all. That secret's revealed. Okay, let's jump into Summer House Season 5, Episode 3, The Sandwich Between Us. Now, this was a good name for a show.
It was. I feel like this was
better.
Such a lackluster episode.
And
maybe this is how this season is going to go.
I need to stop seeing clips and so much being said about their work schedules. I just don't want to see that.
It's so obnoxious,
I don't want to see that. I want to see people partying all weekend, being stupid, being frivolous, getting drunk, making bad decisions.
And eating after they're drunk. That's my favorite moment.
Yes. I don't want to see people fucking talking about spreadsheets. They keep showing like Danielle working. She's like, well, the quarter what are you reporting?
I don't give a fuck about Danielle's job.
This just reminds me of my cubicle warrior job, and that's not why I watch this show.
I agree. This season is different, and I hope the editing favors less of what people are working on.
Y'all, we'll have to be, if you jumped on this is your first season of Summer House.
This is not what Summer House
apologize.
is like.
This is not. Watch season 3. Watch season 4.
Y'all, season 3 of Summer House is when I kind of started watching a little bit of it. The latter half of season 3 is killer. Season 4, the first part of season 4 is amazing.
So it just better, editing team, bravo, get it together.
And if
I hear the word spreadsheet or deadline one more time, I'm gonna fucking go insane.
Or gotta go to bed. Time to go to bed, you guys. It's 10:30. I'm like, no, you have to get up and like get drunk and jump in the pool and hook up with the girl.
Exactly.
All those things.
But let's jump back to where we left them. Y'all, it's still Sunday night. They just had dinner. Hannah is crying her eyes out because she just had a conversation with Luke. It did not go well. And Luke keeps saying this threatening thing that I don't like. Choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely, Hannah.
Gross.
But Hannah's completely losing her shit.
And she says, stop texting me good night. Stop texting me altogether. And she's crying. She's crying. She's like, you brought this girl in this house to make me feel bad. And he completely, and they show clips, he cock blocked her all summer long. He cock blocked her with Austin. He cock blocked her with every guy that was around.
You didn't finish the thought. He brought the girl in, but when he saw her with other guys, he flipped out and cock blocked her.
He cock blocked her.
And so basically Luke keeps saying kind of his basis in a lot of this is he's just saying we were friends. And Ciara, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite. And what did I say?
Ciara,
who's, I can't remember her fucking name, but she's becoming one of my favorite people.
My favorite. What's her name?
She's kind of like the Julie from Real World. I'm totally dating myself on this, but she's kind of like You're old. She's kind of like the Julie or like the Cameron from Summer for a Southern Charm, who's kind of like the reasonable one in the house, because she says to Luke, she says, "Are you diminishing what you guys had?" And Luke's
she's keeping it real.
And Luke kind of really doesn't have a response to that. He keeps saying no, but basically I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he keeps saying that he was very upfront. He tells Ciara, she's like, Hannah's like my best friend. So like, and he tells Ciara, I like you. I always have. But
Hannah brings this up later and says, you don't come in your best friend's mouth twice in a summer.
No, you don't come in your sister. You're like, I love you. You're like my sister. And he's like, you don't ejaculate in your sister's mouth twice. That was what it was.
Yeah, agreed. You don't.
Only in gay porn do you ejaculate in your brother's mouth twice.
No, you don't, because it's not your real brother.
They are not related. That's all part of the fantasy.
And so he acts like
I want to go on record saying I have not ejaculated in any relative's mouth.
Good for you. Good for
Sorry,
you.
I have to say that, but I just want to go on record.
I'm glad. Even Ciara is kind of like, I feel like there are mixed signals because he didn't tell her about Ciara at all.
Here's the thing, y'all. He's a fucking fuckboy.
He's a fuckboy who got caught.
Yeah, he's a fuckboy. And this is the worst thing, y'all. Luke is what I call a class president. They need to be liked by everybody. And you can't do that without letting down some people. So you're going to let down some people, and then you're going to get really mad that you let down some people, and you're going to double down on that. And you're still going to be everybody's Boy Scout. He's too Minnesota for his own good. This fucking class president vibe needs to go. He's been everyone's favorite from the beginning. And I see through it and I hate it, which is why I kind of, even though he's hot, he's the least hot person in the house to me. And I know that's weird.
Some sissies don't agree with us. They've come through on there like, are you kidding? And because they would.
I agree. And I'm just saying what I feel.
I'm just saying,
I would take Kyle over Luke any day.
I just want to say this.
I would take Steven over Luke.
Oh yeah, I think Steven's really attractive.
Me too.
Sissies, I'm going to say this, and this is a read, and I'm reading you for filth. But I'm going to say
they
this,
fucking came at us,
and I might get letters for this. But I'm going to say, if you think Luke is the guy you would fuck from Summer House,
you need to fucking process that shit.
You date bad guys, and you need to fix that, or things aren't going to end well for you.
Because he is
an unavailable guy.
If you think Carl's the guy you'd hook up with, girl, come sit by me. Because we both know what we need to work on.
And if you want to fuck Steven, that's probably who I would fuck. But y'all, because Steven has a 401k and I have a hard on.
I think he has other problems though.
Yes.
But
yes, I think
he just knows how to act well on television.
Well, we'll talk about that. So, but
should we take a commercial?
Let me finish talking about Sierra and Luke, and then we can do that. I think Sierra says basically, she's like, I feel bad for Hannah, but I do still there's a history of Luke. She can't deny that she's attracted to him. And so we're kind of left with, she's trying to help. She's trying to be there for Hannah and like be a new friend to her. But Sierra does see what's going on, but she still wants that D.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to say. And on that,
let's take a commercial.
Okay, we're back.
Where are we?
You know what? While we were on break, and
oh Lord,
I actually was checking our Twitter, and we got a tweet from, and so it's interesting because we're about to talk about Lindsay a lot, and we got a tweet from a sissy who said, "God is my witness. I'm going to get you to appreciate Lindsay. She's TV gold. You see a browbeating maniac. Yes, I see.
I do."
She said, "I see," but this is a good point because she said, "I see a self-assured woman. Her mother ditched her family, but Lindsay still went on to be successful." Which is very true. Meanwhile, Carl gets fired from 3+ jobs, but gets a clap for making the bed. That's fair.
You know what?
That
sissy's right.
That sissy is right, and because we want to fuck, and we admit it, because we want to fuck Carl,
we give him a pass a lot of times.
We get dickmatized.
Mm-hmm.
We get dickmatized. So that's fair. Now, do I still think Lindsay has a little bit of some codependency issues? Yeah.
Let's talk about Lindsay.
But she did really. She was ditched young by her mother, and she
Have you ever made me a sandwich?
Oh, save it. Okay, everybody, let's talk about Lindsay. I do think Lindsay is TV gold, and maybe I don't know. I remember, in some seasons I really like Lindsay, and so I go back and forth on her.
She was much better in the previous seasons that I've seen. I think she only has problems when she's been drinking, for me.
Yeah,
and then she's quite reasonable. But
I also think what I really like about this storyline is that I think, I like this storyline, but then I don't like it because, y'all, this storyline is real life for me, not for me personally, but for so many of my girlfriends that are my age, that are in Los Angeles right now. They're in their late 30s and 40s. And a lot of them are having this, like, do I have a baby?
Right.
Not because they need to. Women don't need to have a baby. And I also want to say, you don't need a fucking man to have a baby, Lindsay. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but you can raise a child on your own and be a fantastic mother.
But that's not what she wants. She wants the whole family. She wants the mom,
and a lot
dad,
of women and men, but a lot of women go through this, I think, around our age here in California. Now, in Oklahoma, they go through this when they're 24 because everybody gets fucking married here early. And then you're divorced by 31. So, but...
Second marriage, second chance.
But again, I part of me, like the psychologist in me, loves this kind of thought process of what Lindsay's trying to go through. But as a fun person who just wants to watch people get drunk and fuck each other, I'm like, I don't want to hear about your life plan to get married and have kids. I want y'all to just fuck each other on Summer House.
I think the biggest problem is how she is, like her friend, even Danielle says, she's looking over all the signs that are coming at her that he doesn't want to be that person for her.
Yes.
And
yes.
and she's
Danielle says Lindsay's forcing this relationship because she's getting older and she's desperate for it to work. Y'all,
and that's honestly what it feels like.
That is what it feels like. And that makes me sad because I know so many women who have done this.
So what would
because they feel like this is their last stand to have children.
So what would you say to them?
I would say to them that, and y'all, life is not about what we want. It's about what we get and the most that we make of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for so many, y'all, I expected, I still have regrets in that I expected to be farther on with my own personal career and stuff than I am now. I know you did too, but it's this, you have to let go of those expectations. And I think
I want to say, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and for a lot of my girlfriends that for Lindsay, if I would tell Lindsay, like, look, you want to be a mom, you want to have a, like, let go of the idea that you need to have, that you need to do that with a husband. It would be great if you could, but have you ever stopped to, because some women don't even consider, they don't even think about the option. And it's, what did you just say? You said something, you were reading some meditation book or something, and it talked about when you see a problem, you don't even remember. Yeah, you said something really great to me, and I went, that's a really good quote. It was like, when you see a problem, to step back and look at all the things surrounding it or something like that.
I know what it was. When you run across what you think is a problem and take a moment and step back and then really just take a moment, and then you'll realize maybe after examining it from all sides that it never was really a problem. It's something you can easily find your way around.
Yeah, and I just want, not that it's easy to have kids, but maybe not having a husband to have a child and a family, maybe that's not a problem. Maybe that's an opportunity.
Well,
what do you think?
My thing is expectation is the opposite of contentment. And that is not to say you should not have expectations of what, but as soon as you put designs on a relationship, you guys, like, this is going to be the guy I have children with. This is it. Expectation, you will never be happy if you are always thinking about that goal.
Because you're thinking, we've had so many friends, they get with a guy and you can tell they're like, this guy's the one. So instead of like enjoying dating, they're just waiting to get engaged.
Yeah, like Lindsay putting her plan on paper. Ugh.
Yes, and then when they get engaged, instead of enjoying the engagement, they just say things like, "I just want to be married already."
Wait till I'm married already. Can't wait till
I have
my first child.
And then when they're married, it's like, "Oh, I just can't wait to have kids." And I just wanted to shake them and be like, be happy that you're just with someone who loves you, and enjoy that.
Enjoy your relationship time. Enjoy your engagement. Enjoy your time married without children. Enjoy your pregnancy. All of that. Here's the thing: if
maybe don't enjoy your pregnancy.
But I'm saying not putting things on your pregnancy.
Exactly.
But I'm saying if you're worried about your age, if you're 40. And you're just got engaged, freeze those eggs if you can.
That's a thing I've recommended a lot to my girlfriends. There's so much, and y'all, we get it. We're two gay men talking about this. I'm really kind of speaking as a mouthpiece for, I'm friends with guys, but I'm friends with mostly women. So I just have a lot of girlfriends that have confided with me and cried to me and talked to me about this. So I hope I'm echoing it well. If I'm not coming, let me know.
This desperation will only lead you to non-contentment. You will always be upset.
And I know it's privilege and money that it takes to freeze your eggs. So I know that's not something easy to do. And also I think it's painful to extract them. So I don't want to act like it's like men. It's not like giving fucking sperm, which you just, and that's it. However, if you are this stressed about this and you have the option to work, I agree with you. I've told friends, freeze your eggs. You're still going to have stress, but then at least you're not shutting the door forever on something that you want so badly.
Because everyone who's watching this is like, poor fucking Steven, because she is intent on this, and whatever he thinks, she's going to get what she wants.
Well, so I think this goes down to this is about love languages. It's interesting that they talk about that. I don't know if they necessarily see all of the love language because from the little bit I'm seeing, we don't know how interested Stephen is in Lindsay, but if Stephen is committed to Lindsay, a lot of men, when they realize women want to like walk down the aisle with them, what do? They feel like I'm not ready to be a husband. I'm not ready
Right.
to be a father because I haven't made it in my career. I'm not totally self-sufficient. I don't own a home. So again, a lot of the men have pressure and future thinking, but also how do I provide for this child?
Mhm.
And for this family. And I wonder if Stephen is working so hard because he's putting that pressure on
That
himself and
is
Lindsay doesn't see it.
that is completely possible. I think everything can be revealed by what he has said to her, that I came here not because I wanted to, but I came here to support you. I came here to be with you in this time. I'm not a Stephen advocate here, you guys. I'm just repeating what he is telling her is my support for you, my love language for you is to come here. This is my time.
But yeah,
And she does not, she sees the quality time for her is time with just them in a space. And I don't know if she and I doubt this. Lindsay has never really been in a relationship in the house. So she's wanting to hang out. I'm defending Stephen here. Lindsay's wanting to hang out with her friends, but also have her boyfriend at arm's length. So
yeah, I agree.
I seriously doubt they're having one-on-one quality time together ever.
Well, they do at the end of the episode.
Well, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that's
No,
because
no, I'm
he
just
has
making
to
a joke.
do it. I think
Yeah.
this is unwinnable for him. And I know you said we had a listener who pointed out Lindsay's going to destroy, and Carl said this, Lindsay's going to blow up every relationship unless she can bulldoze her way through it.
I think Lindsay is not happy with herself. And
Amen.
She's not content with herself. So therefore she's got to put this pressure on someone to make her happy. When if she was just happier with herself, I think she could still ask Stephen for time. Because I do think, like Danielle said, it's fucking ridiculous that Stephen wants to work at 10:47 at night.
It is. It totally is. And he's doing that. He's doing that because because I guarantee you, not to defend him, but he's doing that because I don't think he's ever really experienced what's like being with Lindsay and all of her friends in that space.
Yeah, and we don't know what he's like in a relationship like. I think, again, it's figuring out. I've been in my current boyfriend, he's a very, very hard worker. And when we would go do things, he would be a little bit more of, he would think just by being there and being in the same room with me meant that was him being there. And that's not, so in Lindsay's defense.
And that's not good for you.
But in Lindsay's defense, that's not being there. I think they both need, I would want to ask both of them, Stephen, what is your definition of being there for Lindsay?
Right.
And Lindsay, what's your definition of you being there for Stephen?
Yeah.
Because a lot of this conversation too was all about what Stephen needs to do for her. There wasn't a lot of conversation about how Lindsay supports Stephen.
Right. Also, when he should not have said, "Can you make me a sandwich?" Because that was the beginning of the end. That was the beginning of the sandwich gate.
Y'all, we just had a really rational adult conversation about this, and I think that's great. However, I think we could best describe to you, for some of you that saw this and don't know what was going on, I think the best way we could describe this, Poodle, I think this is our first reality gay summer house theater.
Summer house theater. You were so behind.
You were way early. Yeah.
Catch up.
Poodle be playing the role of Lindsay. I'll be playing the role of Stavi, aka Stephen, and scene. Hey babe. Hey babe, what's up?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just kind of hungry. Could you get me do I have some Cheez-Its or those,
what do you mean? What do you want?
I
haven't seen you the whole day.
Hey, babe, we woke up in the bed together. Like we woke up, we got
Yeah,
ready.
and you woke up and you jerked off, and I saw
Yeah,
you, and you like
yeah,
jerked off on my hip. What the
yeah.
fuck, Steven?
What babe, I looked at you through the glass, your
You know
reflection
what?
the whole
You know
time.
what?
What's
You have
happening?
not supported
I
me
got work.
once when I was here. What do
Hey,
you want from me? What do you
I
want from me?
wait. Hey, what? I'm just. Hey, I'm frustrated too right now. You know, you don't have to be so
You know what?
dramatic about
Say you
this.
want a sandwich? I want a sandwich. I want a fucking sandwich. How many sandwiches have you made for me?
Um, I have not.
And
I
you
have
know
not.
what?
But I came to support you. I came to say,
I know
you don't
you're.
ask me how my workday is. How's my workday? Ask me how my workday is.
You sit there on your phone all day. I can tell you how it's going to be. But you know what? I know you came in to support me. You know what my love language is. What is my love language? What is my love language? What is my love language?
Eating your pussy out.
No, what is my? That's how we are when we're special love time. What is my love language?
Oprah.
No, begins with a Q.
Qbert. I love that game. You like playing
Quality
video games.
time. My love language is quality time.
Okay,
You piece
quality.
of shit.
Okay, quality time.
And yours,
okay.
I know, is touch. Yours, I know, is touch.
Babe.
You
Touch
have
that
to be.
dick. Touch
I
them
need.
hairy
I
balls.
need
Touch
you.
them. Oh,
I need
what?
you.
Huh?
I need you.
I'm hungry. I want a sandwich. Would you mind going to give me a roast beef?
Fuck you.
And scene. That's basic. It was just her screaming at him. And my favorite thing of what she said is, Lindsay says, in all seriousness, I'm just a highly empathetic person.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm a highly empathetic person. I don't
Poodle,
know if she's using that word correctly.
What does empathetic mean? I know, but just for our listeners.
Empathy means that you can pick up on, you are good at sensing other people's feelings on a topic, or
you put yourself in their shoes.
You can put yourself in people's shoes. You can, I mean, highly empathetic usually means that you're kind of connected to the feelings of people around you.
And that you understand and are almost sometimes even processing how they are experiencing a situation.
Exactly. You're doing more. It's like during COVID, I know I don't always sound like it, but I'm a pretty empathetic person. And I take on energy of people around me, especially from COVID and things like that. And so I have to like let that go. But I don't know if Lindsay's
I don't know if Lindsay's really feeling what Steven's going through right now.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what I like Lindsay. And again,
for her,
like our Twitter user, I get it. She is successful and she didn't have a mom, but just because you don't have a mom and you raised yourself and became a successful person doesn't mean you can be so self-involved.
Yeah, I feel like she can be a boss and do all that, but and I do think that the cameras will always draw to her for drama.
But I just think Lindsay's not happy if you're not talking about Lindsay.
I agree. I mean, honestly, she's not my favorite person in the house.
And anytime we've seen her blow up at other people in the house, it is because she feels like she's not getting what she deserves.
I also think gets along much better with the guys in the house, and Danielle, who she's known forever.
Guys in the house that she's not romantically involved with.
True. Yeah.
You can tell that, like her and Paige and Hannah and Amanda, they all can't stand one another. Oh, y'all, never.
Nerp per nerp.
Nope.
There's a little bit about Perry calling Paige that I think is interesting. That Perry calls her boyfriend and says, "I'm looking at the apartment. You want to go to Miami for a couple months?" And she's like,
Maybe not. Perry is hot though, man.
I agree.
I like to see him shirtless. Ooh, y'all, he kind of has this like Bobby Cannavale Italian face, and you just want to. Ooh, nice dick. Said it. So it's the next morning, and again, y'all, it's shots of them working. Everybody's working. see that building day after day after day after day. I was the one who did the line.
I was the one who posted the Instagram filter.
I was the one who did a podcast. See that building. I'm working and working and working. Anyway, I was the publicist who published that article. I was the one who made that alcohol. Y'all, that is a deep cut from James Taylor's Working.
It's not just James Taylor.
James Taylor and
Stephen Schwartz. It's like Craig Carnelia. It's like 11 authors.
It's 11. It's a musical in the 70s.
You called it James Taylor's Working. James Taylor wrote like 2 of those songs.
They were good songs.
Stephen Schwartz wrote most of those songs.
I think he did write Working, actually.
Yeah. I like it. From James Taylor's Working.
Y'all, Working, it's a very dated musical, but
all the monologues are from Studs Terkel's interviews, who is a guy who interviewed working people.
Yeah.
It's dated, but they just did a kind of a revised version about 10 to 12 years ago. There were some Lin-Manuel Miranda songs.
Really?
Yeah, that was like more updated to what kind of slightly more modern people would do. Yeah, and it reordered the and I think they left out a couple things. But there's something like the racist teacher. I think they left out the racist teacher. Nobody tells me how.
We cut that person out when I did it too. Yeah.
When she's basically like, yeah, someone comes in and their name's Alvarez. I don't know what to teach them. They can't. All these kids now, they don't even work hard. It's kind of awful.
It's an awful monologue. Awful monologue. And it's not representative of, I think, the teachers in our country at all.
Especially these days.
Who are, again, shout out to teachers who are still going at it. Hopefully, we're going to get back to school soon. Hopefully. Okay, so what we're dealing with. So
the next thing I have to say is Hannah and Luke still aren't talking.
No, and Luke even says, like, I'm so glad I didn't sleep with her. Because women get crazy when you sleep with them, Luke.
And he's worried about how it's affecting Sierra.
That's all he cares about.
So
y'all think about it. He doesn't care about Hannah. He just cares about his next piece of pussy.
I'm telling y'all, class president syndrome. You have to be liked by everybody.
Yeah.
You have to be like the white knight, because I guarantee you he was the most popular person in his high school. And he can't handle it when someone doesn't like him or doesn't want to be best friends with him.
And I don't think Luke is a bad guy. I don't think he has a bad heart.
He's a bad guy in sheep's clothing. I'm going to say it now.
I think he is just a beautiful white straight male who's always gotten everything he wants.
I think that's giving him too much credit.
Okay.
I think that inside, whenever he's in a place where he is not quarterback of the football team or the hockey team or class president, he does not know how to relate to anyone else.
Okay, that's fair.
And yeah, I find him kind of a miserable person. Yeah, I'm not a Luke fan.
You would let him fuck you though.
Yeah, without question.
Okay.
I don't have to like you to fuck you. As is evidenced by my whole, like, with the bodies I have laid out behind me.
The litany of dicks
my whole
that's been
conquest.
tossed aside. So, Luke and Steven, he says he's going to try harder. And Lindsay feels like they're more on track. And that's when she brings up her mom left her when she had kids. So she's like, that's why she wants to have kids so badly. And that's when I want to tell her she can do this on her own, but whatever. And then, there's a bunch of boring stuff that's basically like the middle of it's just like a Loverboy commercial and just saying that like Kyle and Amanda work so hard. That's great.
The merch is doing better than the actual product.
That's great. I'm glad Loverboy's doing well.
I want to skip where they're like, let's say grace.
Yes, they're eating dinner. And Carl helped them make dinner. So yeah, Sierra's like, let's say grace.
And Sierra does a Father Ouija's prayer. Father, we just want to thank you for all of your blessings, all of your many blessings. bless this liquor to the nourishment of our bodies. Bless this lover boy as it quenches our thirst. Bless these pre-made hamburgers without buns to the keto-ness of our bodies. And hopefully we don't get the keto farts the next day. And these vegetables, none of us really want to eat them, but we're going to eat them anyway. I'd also like to say, think of our relationships, Hannah butts in. And bless us,
about.
the ones you lie about.
Go, 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 go.
Y'all. Okay. I am not a religious person anymore. I was raised Catholic. I'm not anymore. But I have my own beliefs, spirituality, and things like that, and believe in God. I do. But even when Hannah interrupted someone's prayer,
Don't do that, guys.
Don't do that. That was like such a faux pas for me, and I gasped.
I gasped too.
You do not, at least where we grew up, you do not do that. The reverence of because even if I don't, let's say you're praying to Jesus or whatever,
but that's their thing.
That is you're in the middle of your practice. I would never, ever, ever do that.
It was something.
It was something. But she said in the middle, she's like, pray for all the loved ones. And Hannah said, or the ones you lie about. And so Luke kind of was like, look, let's just go fucking talk and get this over with because this will go well.
Cue screaming match.
Screaming match.
He says, I felt really bad about seeing you cry. And I really
it's a weird thing to say because it makes me think. So, are you sad that you actually hurt her and you're the one that made her feel like she? Are you sad
his feelings
that
are important? His feelings are important about
just
her
sad that
seeing her cry.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Or is it just that? Yeah, that's what you wanted to say. Your experience. Okay, just checking.
He felt bad about seeing her cry. In other words, I need to tell you about how I feel about you hating my guts.
Yes,
that's. I'm telling y'all, this is fucking class president syndrome. And it's awful.
It's awful. He even says, I thought we had a conversation of where we stood.
By the end, I will have you convinced by the end of this season that he's a terrible person.
Okay.
I really do believe that. After I watched season 4, I thought he was a garbage person.
I'm not standing for him that I think he's wonderful because I don't. Yeah. He is my least favorite person in the house.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. So... And also, he rewrites a lot of the history he's done. Besides, whatever you want to say about Hannah and what she thought.
I wrote that. Is this revisionist history on his part?
But whatever you want to say, because
Hannah is a complete mess in this. Like, she's way into this.
And the thing is, he knows how she feels about him. All it would take for him is to say, you know what? Really clean break. We're better off as friends. But I guarantee you, he has never said it to her.
Because if he just said to her, this is what, this is...
And she would freak out. And she would freak out. And she would say, I can't believe you're saying that to me. But at least it would be done. But that's someone with class president syndrome can't say that because they want you to love them all the time.
Well, it's this thing with a lot of guys have is they don't want to be a bad guy and be clear about their boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so, and be clear about what they want. If he actually said, look, yeah, I led you on. I thought I wanted to date you. And honestly, my feelings changed. Then Hannah wouldn't be acting so quote unquote crazy as he's thinking she's acting. This is what happens to a lot of guys do this for women. They don't want to take responsibility and be clear. And then they're like, where is this coming from? Why is she so dramatic? Dude,
if they have an excuse to do that.
If you told Hannah, look, I'm just not at that. Because even Kyle says in a dick way, he's like, Hannah, he's just not that into you anymore. All Hannah is asking is for him to say, I was into you and I'm not into you anymore.
Right.
And he won't say that. Instead, he's trying to make her feel crazy and say, I never said that or acted like we were together, like a dick.
And
instead of just saying that, she would accept it. She would be upset, but she would be like, okay, I get it. You're just not ready.
She has the best insight here. And she said, he knows that I don't feel that way about him anymore. And I'm like a dog, and I'm like, my leash is off, and he doesn't like that. He's trying. That's why he's texting me every night.
Yeah.
And he wants the attention. He wants the quote unquote best friend. He's messaging himself. His messaging is, Hannah's my best friend, even though, as she said, I ejaculated in her mouth twice. And the thing is, you guys, with gay guys, we can be friends with gay guys who we do that with. I've done it. Not with this one.
No, I have never slept. There are a lot of gay guys who have done that, and there are straight people that do it too. I've never slept, had a sexual,
and then been friends with them.
Any of my friends, never. I've never crossed the line.
But no, what about this? Have you ever slept with them and then become friends later? That's
Nope.
what I'm saying.
Nope.
Really?
Never. A lot of gay guys do it. I have not at all. A lot and tons.
What a prude you are.
Y'all, every lesbian I know has fucked all of her lesbian friends.
I agree. Yeah,
they
definitely.
all have. It's just something I've always kept separate. I don't think there's any right or wrong a good way to do it.
It just means you're frigid. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
It just means you have issues about sex.
Yeah, or it doesn't mean that your asshole feels like a used water slide.
You know what? Got no complaints ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're fighting.
And wild.
They're fighting and screaming, and she walks away.
She's like, you keep saying we were just friends, and she says, I can't look at you ever the same. And this where Luke, he says later, he's like, I can't either. And then Hannah actually said, I can't tell if you're dumb or playing dumb.
Yeah, I like that too.
And I do think on Hannah's part, it is, and hopefully she can let this go. It's not about her. It's about Luke. And so what's going to kind of be her demise in this is if she keeps looking to Luke for a resolution, she's got to make
she has to find it in herself.
She has to find the inner resolution herself and then let him do whatever he wants to do.
Hopefully the other women in the house will help her. Sierra, Danielle.
Sierra's a wise bitch. They need to listen to her.
Sierra said at the end, when someone's going to yell at someone like that makes me think twice a little bit about Luke.
And that's what Luke's big fear was.
Class president no more. I'm serious, y'all. Think back at your class presidents.
But see, the guys, Kyle even says, and Kyle's not my favorite person either, but Kyle even says, well, she has feelings for you, and that clouds her vision. And I fucking hate it when men say, now, feelings do cloud her vision. But so many guys say, like, the undertone of that was, she's in love with you and she's crazy. That's what so many straight guys say, and it drives me crazy.
None of the guys really, this sounds rough. None of the guys just tolerate Hannah, because here's why. She challenges them in their quote unquote masculinity, and she laughs at their kind of their performative aspects.
I agree.
She
with
makes
that.
fun of it.
Dead on. That's dead on.
Yeah, and that's why, in kind of a lot of ways, they don't like her.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because Hannah's a comic. Hannah's kind of observant.
Don't pull over. Don't pull over.
It's just an ambulance on my street.
Just doodles.
Just an ambulance on my street. Do 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 do.
What song was that?
Nightmare on My Street.
That was not.
That's what it is. Do 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 do. That's what it is. Yeah. I went ring ding dong, ring a ding a ding ding dong.
That's not the Nightmare on Elm Street.
How dare you correct me?
No, that's not the theme at all.
You know what? You get one. You get one correction, you bitch.
It's something
this show
like
is over. No, I already said do 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 do. I already did it. You don't need to correct it.
This is going to freak people out and scare them. Oh, this is a good thing. This is going to scare me listening to it.
I already told you what it was.
It's not right. I'm telling you.
I'm getting it to the key.
It's going to take too long to get there. All right, I'll deal with it later.
To the key, I'm right.
Oh well, I have to find it later. I think.
Fast forward it, bitch. Now we're gonna do it. Now you're gonna prove me right. Get that phone back up there. Get that phone back up there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Exact key. I love being right.
No, the key was right. The melody was wrong. That's what I was trying to say.
No, it's the song. Must have been a nightmare on my street. That's what I was.
That song scared me. I couldn't listen to it as a kid. Y'all, that's the show.
Such a baby. You still can't even watch horror movies.
I'm scared now from listening to that, y'all. I'm sorry that we scared you. Y'all, that's the show. You can go to realitygazepodcast.com. If you're interested in listening to other Southern Charm episodes, you can go to a separate podcast, Sweet Tea, that will jump onto this feed next season when it comes
Don't go to realitygaze.com because that's porn.
It's not good porn. And we tried to buy it, and no one's gotten back to us. So,
oh, well.
That's our $20 we weren't going to spend. Anyway, y'all, you can find us on Cameo. You can find us on Instagram or Twitter. It's super important with all the name change and everything. If you're a fan of the show, go leave 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and write a review. We appreciate it.
Please.
If you don't know what to write, you can always say, keep going, Queens. We appreciate that. And y'all, that was this episode of Summer House, and we don't have a sign off for this show.
How about?
Oh God,
I don't know.
You know
how
what?
About send it. Send it back.
No, this doesn't. No,
I don't like
no.
We'll
you know
come
what?
up with. Bye.
Go make someone a sandwich.
Hey, come on, a sandwich.